From the old farmstead of Camping La Chassagne, we set out to visit the impressive ruins of Château Rocher, not too far away. Château Rocher literally means castle rock, and with a bit of imagination, this easily transforms into Casterly Rock from Game of Thrones. You don't actually need that much imagination to conjure up the world of Game of Thrones in these parts, what with all the churches, castles and old town centers dating back centuries to medieval times around here. And with the still much older volcano, Puy de Dôme, about half an hour further down the road, one can even imagine large dragons rising up from the volcano's now extinct crater, scorching the skies with their fiery breaths. The history of Château Rocher doesn't include dragons, I'm afraid, but it does have its share of drama and intrigue, and still even includes mention of some mythical creatures, with or without leathery wings. But we'll get to that later. First things first. Château Rocher, we're almost there, was built in the 11th century, with construction and add-ons continuing well into the 15th century. To give you an idea, that spans a huge part of the Middle Ages, including the time of the Crusades. Walking around the halls of Château Rocher, you're walking where knights and ladies shared that very same spot on the cobblestone some 900... Oh, wow. That is... wow. Let's just take that in for a second. That is impressive. To think knights and ladies once stood where you're standing when you're visiting this place. And peasants as well. Not just knights and ladies. Especially peasants, probably. And common soldiers, ordinary, flea-ridden people lacking a couple of teeth and smelling like fish 2 days after Friday. Okay. The purpose of the castle can still be easily guessed when you look out of the windows of the remaining walls. They offer a view of the river Sioule and its valley below, all the way downstream to the start of the canyons that the river carved out in the rocky landscape over the course of a long period of geological time. That takes a lot of time. It's also there that we find Le Pont de Ménat, an ancient stone bridge over the river, which was the only spot in miles where you could cross the river without getting your feet wet. Unless you took a boat. The bridge connects two roads dating back to Roman times, and it is this strategic point in the area that Château Rocher sought to keep its eye on, to control its passageway and to exact payment from anyone wanting to cross it. As to the owners of Château Rocher, that's where the drama and intrigue starts. To begin with, the origin of Château Rocher is actually a bit of a mystery, since the castle already features in a local legend supposedly dating back to the 7th century, well before we know the construction of Château Rocher actually started. In this legend, a handsome noble fellow by the name of Fabien kidnapped the beautiful Aurélia and took her to Château Rocher. Aurélia was the younger sister of a very influential head of a monastery nearby. Fabien kidnapped her because he loved her, but she didn't love him back. Perhaps such behavior made sense in medieval times. Her brother, in turn, pulled some strings, drummed up some 500 men and simply took the castle to get his sister back. But Fabien fled, taking Aurélia with him to a friend's castle nearby, which Aurélia's brother duly took as well. And just in time too, because Fabien already had his sword out to kill Aurélia when she continued to refuse him her hand in marriage, causing him to throw a noble fit, which, in those days apparently, included swords and stabbing. In the end, Fabien got off lightly though. Connections, I suppose. But he hadn't learned his lesson and later tried to kidnap her again. This time he failed, but he got the lovely Aurélia worried sick with his antiques and she died of it. Full of remorse, the infamous hero of our story threw himself at another one of his passions, hunting, got attacked by a boar and died as well. The end. That right there is a proper Game of Thrones storyline if you ask me, and no doubt about it. But it is all legend. We don't know if it's true. Especially since these events took place before the castle was even built. A feat attributed to Archambault the Strong, Lord of Bourbon. Although I doubt the Lord of Bourbon ever took part in the actual construction of the castle himself. That's more of a job for the before-mentioned smelly poor people. and the House of Bourbon is probably better known for later ascending to the throne of both France and Spain anyway. But that's another time and another story. And speaking of time, we best take our leave of Château Rocher now and head back to La Chassagne. You see, we know some of the other stories surrounding the castle, including the one about the White Lady that makes for a great campfire story, but you wouldn't want to stick around here after nightfall once you've heard it. Do ask us about these stories though, should we ever meet at Camping La Chassagne and you're planning to visit Château Rocher. We'll be there. Summer is coming.